Well, it's taken just 15 months, but the transformation of Brisbane Roar is almost complete. They were 9th when Mike Mulvey took over. By the end of the season, they were one game away from the grand final. Tonight, they're one game away from lifting the premiership. Only second-placed Melbourne Victory can stop them. And even then, surely, it would only be delaying the inevitable. A very good evening from an expectant Suncorp Stadium, a fourth piece of silverware. Brisbane's for the taking tonight. And given they have led the Hyundai A-League for every week bar one since round one, few will begrudge them if David Gallop is handing the Premier's plate to Matt Smith in around 2 hours' time. Melbourne Victory have gone through their own transformation, of course, this season, strangely caused by the departure of the same coach in Ange Postecoglou. Their decline, though not quite as sharp, and they come into this game on the back of some of their best form of the season, having won 4 from 5 domestically and snaring that big win in the Champions League over Yokohama F. Marinos during the week. So, big crowd, big occasion, big stakes too, with a trophy up for grabs for Brisbane and a place in Asia, lest we forget. And that chance of second spot and a week off in the finals, the carrot for victory. It is 1 versus 2, Brisbane Roar against Melbourne Victory. What price a grand final meeting between these two in May? Certainly improved on last season, where for whatever reason he was rather out of touch. Certainly found his mojo again this season. Here's Mackay. Got a space here for Enrique between the lines. Enrique to shoot. Good save by Thomas. And it comes from Petratos. And Thomas with the follow-up save as well. And there was no offside flag against Petratos. Would have counted. Well, good work by the goalkeeper.
Indeed, Simon. Lawrence Thomas is growing into the role.
Quickly taken set piece, Mackay to deliver, but it's behind Petratos. That'll be a throw.
He got punished match day 2 in the Champions League. A shot that bounced off his head, and Lee Dong-gook hit the rebound, and he got away with one similarly match day 3, and he got away with one there, to be honest. And the option to parry the ball is not a bad one, but that's got to go out for a corner. He did well to regain his feet and deny Petratos the second effort, so credit where it's due. And it's always a nervous moment for a coach who decides to switch goalkeepers. It's that pressurised position. Nathan Coe, a couple of errors meant that Lawrence Thomas was going to get his chance, and you got to settle really quickly. And he hasn't had a lot of first-team football experience, hardly any. But he's just starting to settle now, I feel, with the chance clearly to make that #1 position totally his own.
He doesn't particularly have good memories of this place, Lawrence Thomas. One of his rare appearances last season was that 5-0 hammering at the hands of Brisbane Roar. This is Guerrier. They're looking to release James Troisi, but without much success at the moment.
Well, that one needed to go to Barbarouses. A bad misjudgment by Jason Guerrier. Now they've got to defend.
Mackay turns it out for Thomas Broich. Mackay again. Clever football by Brisbane. Diogo Ferreira inside the penalty area, trying to thread it through. Here's Miller! Good save again by Thomas. That's a really good stop by the Victory goalkeeper. Big chance for Brisbane.
Well, Liam Miller again. He gets really close to the goal with no ultimate reward.
It's not a bad ball either from Smith. This is Mackay. Broich. Miller. Space again for the Irishman. Petratos. Miller. Heavy first touch. Good intervention from Jago. Dug out by Finkler. Now the Victory can break. Jago sweeps it left for Troisi. It is building into a really good game of football, this.
Well, it's first versus second, and it's got all the hallmarks of exactly that. Great stuff.
Barbarouses. Jego. Rogic skips clear of Miller. And with the outside of the boot, finds Barbarouses. Troisi! Great save by Theo. Lovely chance created initially by the good work of Tommy Rogic. And a very decent cutback too from Barbarouses. James Troisi forcing the save out of Theo. Here come the victory. Rogic. Through again. Oh, offside against Barbarouses. The victory having a really good little spell here.
Well, they are in open field. Once they've contained Brisbane defensively. It's onside. Brilliantly found by Rogic. Good determination from Barbarouses. Troisi peels off. That's a hell of a save too by Michael Theo. Fatigue, you would imagine, Simon, is going to be an issue, potentially, for Melbourne victory. What did you say? It was 5 games in 12 days, included in which has been a trip to Asia and a trip to Perth.
Finkler's touch, of course, as you rightly remarked in the first half, he's still fresh.
And of him, maybe Melbourne victory might look to turn more. I actually don't think that the Melbourne victory have made the most of his very positive work so far tonight, Guy Finkler. I think he's a super player.
Enrique lays it off. Miller. Petratos. Brisbane threatening again. Petratos gets his head down, goes for the byline. Corner Brisbane. Victory are going to make a change. Maybe not until after the corner's been taken. Archie Thompson is being readied by Kevin Muscat. Home fans getting behind their team. Good numbers in the den this evening. They want a goal. Broich with the outswinger. Smith leaps. And it'll be another Cornell, though. Victory protest. Thompson will have to wait a little longer. An hour gone in Brisbane. Pressure starting to build. Temperatures starting to rise. The crowd figure just shy of 18,000. Broich with the in-swinger this time. Good header clear by Lee Broxham. Brisbane have a man down inside the box. It's going to be Bratton to try and clip it to the far post. Layer is there. Victory very deep. It's Matt Smith who is down, but he's back upon his feet now. Miller. Petratos. Good football by Brisbane. Miller trying to steer it in behind. Enrique, is this the moment? Good save, Thomas again. In fact, Peter Green says that's a goal kick. I thought Thomas saved that. I think most of the crowd did too.
Well, there's no question he did save it. It's whether he saved it on to Enrique. What about this from Liam Miller? We saw a beauty from Marcelo Corusca last night's a clear corner. It didn't come back off Enrique. That was the only element of doubt for me, but that's gone clear off Lawrence Thomas. Brilliant work, Lawrence Thomas, again.
Who's your money on to win this one, Hubs?
Well, you'd have to still
think... Flip a coin, wouldn't it?
It is. It's very much like that. Melbourne victory are looking so sprightly on the counter-attack, and they're defending really well. But I still think you'd have to... It's easy to see Brisbane getting a goal because of the pressure they're putting Melbourne victory under.
Broich roaming into open pasture. Here's Solorzano. First touch took it away from him. And Broxham effected the clearance.
Well, the 2 centuries for victory have been outstanding. Look at this work by Lee Broxham.
Here come Brisbane again. Diogo Ferreira. Drop of the shoulder. Still going. Oh, and the snapshot, good save again by Lawrence Thomas. Gee, has saved them on occasions tonight.
That's incredible. Well done, Lawrence Thomas. It hasn't been a smooth passage into the number 1 position, but he's doing brilliantly here at Suncorp.
Broich just rolls it into the path of Ferreira. Barbarouses trying to trap back and defend. Mackay. Everybody behind the ball for the victory. They'll try and change the angle of attack through Bratton. Miller. Solorzano. Will it set up for him? Solorzano still going. Eventually ran into Guerrier. Can Broich keep it alive? It's gone behind. And it's going to be a goal kick.
It's fair to come like the Alamo back there for Melbourne victory. But to a man and shoulder to shoulder, they're standing. They're throwing themselves. Blocking tackles. And when they get through the wall of white, there's Lawrence Thomas dropping to his right to thwart Diogo Ferreira, who's had a hell of a game himself, the left fullback for Brisbane.
Leia puts it up into the night sky. Stefanuto has to be mindful. Tommy Rogic approaching into the 2nd minute of stoppage time. Solorzano. Mackay. Can Brisbane fashion one more clear-cut chance? Broich. Anyone can unlock the door, he can. Here's Bratton. Shoot is the cry. Bratton shoots! Oh, Luke Bratton! Wins the premiership for Brisbane Roar with a howitzer! What a goal and what a moment at Suncorp!
Well, I don't see any problem with his hip flexor or groin now. He survived the game and he's finished things off for Brisbane Roar with one of the sweetest strikes of the season, Luke Bratton. All the attention was attracted to Thomas Broich. How often do we see it? How often do we say it? There's a cluster of white shirts trying to stop the maestro from getting to goal. He squares it off to Bratton, resists the temptation to hit it first time. Composure to set it up. He puts it on the tee. He takes out the one wood and home she goes.
A thunderous strike from Luke Bratton and a goal perhaps worthy of winning the premiership. But Andy, it's cruel on Melbourne victory. It's delight for Brisbane.
Yes.
The victory have worked so hard tonight.
Yes, on both counts. And it was going to take something special. And Lawrence Thomas has been brilliant, and he couldn't stop that one.
Well, is it too late for the victory? Brisbane fans preparing to celebrate. They've done a fair bit of that at this stadium down the years. That was some goal. He's almost making it into his speciality, Luke Bratton. And it will win the plate unless there's more late drama here. Victory of committed numbers forwards that could be caught on the counter. Mackay, Solorzano's offside by a long way. But it will run down the clock.
It's been an epic here, Simon. There's only one goal, but it's been an epic. What a night of A-League football at Suncorp, and hasn't this stadium dished up some in the last 3 or 4 seasons?
The dying embers of a fantastic night, not only for Brisbane Roar, but for the Hyundai A-League. It's all over. The first silverware of the season goes to Brisbane. They're back in the winner's circle once more. And in just over 12 months, they have been transformed from deadbeats into difficult two-beats. Now can they go on and claim what would be a record-breaking 3rd championship? For now, the premiership will do. And who says Englishmen can't coach? Mike Mulvey has put the Roar back on track. And it took a goal of utter brilliance from Luke Bratton to see off a very determined Melbourne victory but one goal was enough. Brisbane Roar premiers for season 9 of the Hyundai A-League. What a splendid night. Let's confirm that final scoreline for you. Brisbane Roar 1, Melbourne victory 0.